expansions.com, and this is my current events update from March 9th, 2011. In the last couple of days, there have been moderate earthquakes off the coast of the Oregon shoreline, several hundred miles out to sea, but yet it's along the Juan de Fuca fault, especially where it meets the Pacific plate, and these are growing in intensity and in frequency, and if they get any larger, we could see possible tsunamis along the coast of the Pacific Northwest, even as far north as British Columbia and into Northern California. There's also been a series of quakes, in fact hundreds of them, in the Arkansas area near Little Rock and around that area, and these are also starting to show up in Oklahoma, western Texas, believe it or not, and even parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. So there seems to be a big volatility in the earth right now as far as fault lines are concerned, as this is pushing in underneath the subduction zone on the west coast. It's forcing a lot of fracturing along the western part of the United States, and we really do need to watch off the coast of Oregon. And if we look at the Pacific Basin overall, we will see that there is a lot of volatility even here in Hawaii. And if you look here in New Zealand, where all those earthquakes are occurring, too bad the map isn't showing the Pacific all at once, but we're seeing that if we go crossways, and you go across the ocean, across from New Zealand, we come across to the coast of Oregon, and then we drop down to Chile, where there's a lot of earthquakes going on right now in the 6 to 7 range, go diagonally across, and we find that as of yesterday, the 7.2 earthquake off the coast of Japan, just northeast of Tokyo, which is also a very volatile area. So this entire region, I would say, is in great danger. The Pacific Basin and even into the middle part of the United States and the Pacific Northwest, big problems coming up, and we need to look at that. There's also been earthquakes off on the island of Crete and in the eastern part of Turkey and also in the southern part of Iran. But my feeling is southern part of Iran is maybe artificially induced because that's also where the nuclear reactors located underground, and I think that there's an effort to maybe disturb them with ELF and microwave pulse bombardment to cause earth movements in those regions. Also, I wanted to let you know in Hawaii, Kilauea volcano, and this was on my site a day or two ago, the crater in the volcano collapsed several hundred feet. There's new magma vents opening up, and we may be in the process of witnessing a major eruption of the Kilauea volcano, which will cause a lot of pressure on the surface of the earth. And if you recall, several years ago, the US government warned that there could be an imminent cataclysmic eruption of the Kilauea volcano, and they even mentioned that this island of Hawaii was once part of a larger volcanic island, although they stopped short in calling it Lemuria, but that's where Lemuria was located. And those of you in Southern California, big quakes occurring in the Salton Sea area. Put this map back up, and you can see this region from the Gulf of California through this area, Baja, into the Salton Sea, really fracturing, opening up, hundreds of quakes occurring in the last few days in this region over here. So please take precautions, those of you who live in these regions, and even if you don't live in those regions, quakes can occur now really at any point on the map. And scientists have recently stated that there may be no such thing as a dormant volcano, that in fact the magma chambers can be filled up very suddenly and from mysterious sources, even though the volcano hasn't been active in hundreds or thousands of years, as we saw in British Columbia a couple of years ago, when a volcano that hadn't erupted in over 10,000 years was considered to be almost extinct, and then it started erupting again. So please take precautions, watch my podcast about volcano people and earthquake people, and you will see what I'm talking about and how to stop all of this, even from your own self. Until next time, this is Stewart A. Swerdlow for expansions.com.